So just open up the 1.5-inch template for the Lettermaker script. The package comes with 3 templates, a 1.5-inch, a 3-inch, and a 6-inch. I've chosen the 1.5-inch because it's so much smaller and it processes so much faster. So we're going to make the USA script, set of alphabets today. There's 3 different ones. There's stars and stripes, and a stripes. So we went into our layer styles by double clicking on our layer, and we're just going to add a pattern overlay to our letter. So we've chosen the stars and stripes, and you can see it's a little bit big. So we're just going to scale that back. So you can scale it any way you like. That looks okay to me. Give it a little bit of an angle by just dragging the little angle pointer. If you go too far, you won't see all the detail of the other colors. You can make it a little bit smaller, and that should help out a lot with that. So you just got to play around with it till you get it the way you like it. That looks pretty good. Now we're going to add a little bit of a bevel and emboss to the letters. So you go into bevel and emboss in your layer style palette, and you can play around with the depth and size. You can't really see much of a difference right yet. There's so many different variables to get an exact bevel that you like. The glass contour is a big factor in it. If you click on the thumbnail there, you'll get a window come up where you can go in and adjust the glass contour or create your own. If you click the drop down list, you'll get a set of pre-made, ready-made ones. The 2 on the front there, the angle and the quarter round, are the one I use the most. So you can see it adds a little bit of a pillowy shape to it. So you adjust your depth and your size until you get it exactly the way you want it. Oh, there goes my messages. Okay, so we're not getting the contour that we want. That's because we got soften turned all the way up to the top. You need to take the slider next to soften and drag it back a little bit. That got a bit of a shadow on it. We don't want anything with a shadow on it. That's the pillow emboss. Usually the inner bevel is the best one. Chisel hard, chisel soft. So take your soften off, and you can see the ridges coming to light there. So now you're going to change your glass contour. Okay, we got that set a little bit deep, so we're going to take the depth off back a little bit. We're playing around with this now to get the exact correct bevel, because this bevel is going to be used in all the letters sets, in the stripes and the stars too, which are going to stay exactly the same bevel. Oh, I don't like that. You can see how each different bevel glass contour gives a different effect. And it's all in what you like. If you like it this way, do it this way. The trick is to play around with it until you get it looking exactly the way you want. Say okay. Alright, so now that we got our layer style set the way we want it, we're going to open up our script file, which is very easy to do. You just go into scripts. I place my script file in the folder structure within Photoshop, so it comes up in the drop down list for scripts. If you want to do that, you can. You can just browse to it. If you want to just extract it to your desktop, you can just browse to it on your desktop and open it that way. The first thing is going to come up is a dialog box asking you to choose a folder where you want your letters to be saved. So because we have 3 sets, we're going to make 3 different folders, but we're going to make a parent folder. first one is going to new. We're going to call that USA letters. Now inside that we want to start a new folder, and it's going to be called Stars and Stripes. So when you run the generator here, all your files will be saved into this Stars and Stripes folder. So now you got your dialog box come up there. You got three choices. You can choose A to Z lowercase, or A to Z uppercase, or 0 to 9. So we're just doing capital letters for this set. So click A to Z uppercase, and click Make My Letters. The button there says Make My Letters. As soon as you click that, if you navigate to your folder, you can watch it making your letters. So got them all done there. We got that done, so we just go back to Photoshop. We're just going to zoom in here. We're set to large icons. We're going to look at the extra large icons so you can kind of see a bit more detail. See the bevel a bit easier here. They look kind of 3D. So now back to Photoshop. Cancel. What we need to do now is change the layer style. We're going to leave the same bevel on it because all we want to change is the pattern on the letters. So you double click on letters, right on the layer, and it'll open up the layer style palette. So we want to change the pattern overlay. So we're going to make stars on this one. So I have a preset in there. It's actually a pattern. You can see that it's not exactly a duplicating pattern, not seamless by no means. So we can just haul that out. I know how to make seamless patterns, but I just wanted to get this video out there. I'll make a video on how to make seamless patterns later, sometime later. Okay, so that looks pretty good to me. So click OK. Now you got your pattern. You're going to go back into your script and open up your letter generator, Lori's Letter Maker. So I'm clicking browse because I got this actually saved somewhere else as well, just to show you how you can browse to a folder to find the file instead of having to install it right in the directory in Photoshop. Okay, so now we need to browse to our folder where we want to save these letters. So in USA Letters, we're going to make a new directory and call it Stars. And again, just uppercase letters. So it goes along pretty quickly. The 1.5-inch letters generate really quickly, even with a pattern on them, even with a complex layer style, they'll generate very quickly. They look pretty good. If I was to do it over again, I'd use the seamless pattern. I'd make a seamless pattern and I wouldn't have those gaps between the letters. So we're going to make another folder now. We're going to call it Stripes. You can make your folders before you start, or you can make them on the fly when you open the generator and it asks you to choose the folder. You can create the folder then. So now we're going to give it one more layer style. Again, we're going to leave the bevel and emboss the same, and we're going to change the pattern overlay to stripes. So I created these patterns earlier. So that's the pattern there that I used. That looks kind of zebra-ish, like candy cane. We don't want that. We don't need it exactly straight. It's Scale it down a little bit if you want more stripes. Scale it up if you want less stripes. Hit OK, and again open up your your letter generator. So now we're going to navigate to the folder that says stripes. And we're going to generate our uppercase letters. Click Make My Letters and watch it make your letters. You can see it's doing it for you. Always nice when you can save a bit of time by automating something. I'm a programmer and I love to automate anything that I can. So hit cancel now. You got your letters generated. We're just going to open up a new file here now and we're going to show you how pretty these letters actually are. Open a 10 by 10 file. We're going to give it a black fill. It looks kind of gray. I don't know why that is. Something's not set right there. Okay, so we're going to start dragging some letters over onto that background now just so we can see how they look. So I'm working off two monitors here. I got my files open on my other monitor. I'm just dragging it onto this monitor. So we start by dragging over the U from the Stars and Stripes folder. So when you drag it over, you gotta hit the transformation button to make it stick. So now we got the S from the Stripes folder. And we're going to get the A from the Stars folder. So you got them all. You see that they're all the same size there. So we're going to highlight all three of those layers. So choose one layer, then hit your control key, keep down on your control key and click the layers that you want. Now hit control T and you can just drag them out, stretch them out a little bit. Now you hit enter there and it'll make them stick, or you can hit the little checkbox up at the top to make the transformation. Okay, so we got them all resized. So we're just going to move them around one by one. So you see that they kind of overlap a little bit there with the red stripes. They're kind of hard to see. So we're going to add a stroke to each letter just to differentiate it, make it stand out a bit. So in your layer style palette, you can go in and add new style to the letters. These letters now, you can't change the style on them and you can't change the letter because they're actually a PNG file. They're not a text layer anymore. They're not editable. They're like a picture file. So we're going to add a little bit of a stroke to that. So it doesn't look real good yet. It's set to gradient right now. Probably parts of that gradient is transparent. So change it to color and try black. No. Turn up the opacity. No, black doesn't work for that. I think red would look really good. So just click on color. When you bring up your color picker palette, you can actually just hover over a color that you want, get a little eyedropper, and it grabs the color right from any image that's open on your screen there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, we'll go with that. And we'll change it from inside to outside. There, that looks pretty good. So you say OK. Now you're going to copy that layer style from that layer to each of the other layers. Okay, so just right click on the layer, don't double click on it, just right click on it and a menu will come up there. And you can just paste the layer style. Do the same with the U. Okay, I think it looks pretty sharp. We're just going to change the background color just by adding a black background layer style to it. So color overlay, black. There you go. I think it looks pretty sharp. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd love to hear a comment on what you think of it. If you'd like to, you can subscribe to our channel and hit the bell notification to be notified when we post new content. The USA files that I created earlier are available on my Etsy shop, as well as this script. The links are in the description below. And patrons on my Patreon page can freely download all my content, including the script and the letters that are posted here. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.